Okay, continuing here. This is the old oil pressure sensor. It used to look like this one here. It's so far and so deep into the hole, I was not able to even reach. The only thing I could do is squeeze my hand in there and just touch the very tip of this. I was not able to even undo the connector. So what I did was, since at this point I really have nothing to lose on an old truck like this, I took a long screwdriver and a hammer from way down, the longest screwdriver I own, and I tapped it and I split the casing, and I was able to release this wire, which I pulled down. And then I put one of my deep impact sockets on here. You don't need an impact, but I just happened to have an impact that was this size. I put the socket on there with 3 extensions, and I was able to turn this out and pull this out. So the oil pressure sensor is out. The new one is sitting right here. So for this one here, my deep socket is going to go over the plastic. So I'm going to be careful, but I should be able to fit the socket over here. I'm going to thread this in gently. And then my connector is a little bit damaged, but it still does go on. And it still clips in. So it still clips in like this. So what I did is I tried to free up as much as this wire underneath as I could, and it's just not a lot of give. I was able to pull it up through the front a little bit. I snipped it off. I'm going to join another piece on. I mean, it's a little bit Frankenstein, but here's where I'm at. Neighbor's doing some sanding there, but you should be able to hear me. So basically, this must be a little bit of cluster of wires that carries a bunch of sensors down here. This wire down there. Because this one also goes to the power steering system, so it must be some kind of a pressure on the power steering. And then there's the wire here, and there's a little pigtail that comes off, and this was behind the filter housing. And because I was unable to disconnect it, I just broke it off, and I'm going to join a piece of wire onto here. I'm going to make it about 2 feet if I have to, and I'm going to let it dangle down. So I'll be able to crawl back underneath and then reach up over the axle and attempt to plug this back in. I got the new filter in place. The oil still drained. So if I can make a good connection, which this is a copper wire, so I'm going to join onto it, join onto the connector, plug it in, and with a brand new sensor, I'm going to test and see. I'm going to assume that my splices and everything are good. I'm going to take my meter out and do a continuity check. And then if I have a good sensor and a good connection, if I still have no oil pressure, then it's beyond just the sensor itself. But it is worth a try anyway. Okay, I'm going to keep progressing.